You're talking about the Pt.2 album.
Right.
And you were saying how, you were having problems with VP at the time and linked up with, I don't know if you linked up with Jermaine, but he got involved, but you let the album go.
Right.
My question is, why did you let the album go?
Well, it's kind of a lot of politics because one of the things is that Lighthouse came in place. I was introduced to Lighthouse from a company based in America called Art to Art. Well, Father Romy from Exodus was the first person that brought Lighthouse to my awareness. This was one of the first songs I was going to sing that wasn't penned by myself, you know? So,
so you didn't write Lighthouse?
I didn't write Lighthouse, you know? So, Lighthouse wasn't really penned by me, so. You know, when I heard Lighthouse and when I heard the musical composition, it was speaking to me as Pt.2. You know, when Lighthouse came about, and I sang Lighthouse, I remember they had this program called Link Up, where you have Squeeze in New York with Link Up with England, Miami, and Jamaica. So Lighthouse was being played on Link Up for 2 weeks and having people guessing who it was. They thought it was Pt.2. No one mentioned Bushman until the announcer mentioned that it was Bushman singing. So basically, it brought to me the awareness of Pt.2, you know. I always have this guitarist where I say I would have want him to do an album called Macalax playing Bushman, because he's so great at guitaring. But Pt.2 came to my awareness now, like, why not do an album called Bushman Sings the Bush Doctor? Glenn Brownie came to me and offered me like to sing Buckingham Palace.
The great Glenn Brown.
Great Glenn Brown, because you know my first producers was Steely and Clevie.
I didn't know that, man.
And Glenn Brown is Clevie's brother, because you know he's a family of Brownie, you know. So you know what I mean. So Glenn Brown is one of the greater bass player them in the business, you know. He came to me with Buckingham Palace. I was like, Glenn, you know, I wanted to do a whole album, a Pt.2 called Bushman Sings the Bush Doctor. Anyway, we did Buckingham Palace, and it was given to me for my first independent album called Get It In Your Mind.
Light your spliff, light up your chalice, make we burn it in the Buckingham Palace.
You know, and so when we had, like, for the first album with VP, it was Signs. So Signs had Downtown, it had Lighthouse, whole heap of big tune and Signs. So, you know, Mary Meccan. Yeah. But basically, one of the things is that I think that album was shelved, you know? Signs was like, and for me, like...
It's funny you said that because I look back, Signs came out 2004, right?
2004. This was like...
So that Grammy year was Sean Paul won the Grammy, right?
Right.
But the albums that year was Buja Friend. No disrespect to none of the artists, but, you know, Buja Banton, Friend for Life.
Yes.
Burning Spear, Free Man.
Yes.
Third World Ain't Giving Up.
Yes.
Ain't one to no holding back.
Right.
So...
You see, but what had happened is that, for me, like, in the early part of my career, some of my best distributing was with a Greensleeve Records. For instance, Nyaman Chant was with VP for the American market, and it was with Greensleeve for the European market. And I remember signing more of Greensleeve's copy in America than a VP's copy.
Question I want to ask, did Greensleeve really push the albums like in regards
one
to
of the
promotion and all that?
one of the better distributing companies from my experience, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Working with artists, they love to. You know, it's just like, yeah. So basically, one of the things is that, you know, when VP came into play now, Highly Dread, Colin Levy was the executive producer of the album. I was a producer with Ian Coleman, you know. And I really wanted Greensleeve to get the album, but VP gotten the album.
Real quick, the vibe from Signs, because, and that was a unique thing too, because you used live band back then. That's 2004 when nobody was using no live band.
This is, I brought back.
Yeah, where did you get the inspiration from, and where did the finances come from the live band?
Colin Levy. Because one of the things is that I wanted to bring back this situation of playing with the band in the studio and going on the street with the same band, same backing vocals, doing the music. What is more perfect than that? Bob did it. This is what Chronix is doing now. One of the things for me is when the recording company, the manager, and the booking agent work together with the vision that the artist has. You know, bringing the artist's vision to reality is one of the best jobs you could do as a manager or a a recording company or a booking agent. You know, that accomplishing your job is bringing the artist's vision to reality. So one of the things is that we had a contract with VP, which
that's starting with Signs. Yeah, 5-year
this is
album deal.
a 5-year album deal.
Signs was the first one.
Right. And we never did a next album.
Yeah, because I heard it was a breach there.
Yeah, because one of the things is that we wanted to get more publicity in America, because I was quite on the top of promotion and publicity in Europe. But I only did a US tour 2001. Never got to do a US tour in 2002. So 2004, I wanted to do one. So our agreement too was getting visibility in America, which that never happened. Promotional, we had an agreement about promotion strategies and how much money to spend in promotion. That never happened. You know, so a lot of things never happen. These companies, as you would say, they don't do from the start. As soon as the song gets popular, this is when they want to do. But this is when everyone almost have the song freely, which is in that surrounding. Because you know what I'm saying, you know, one of the problems that I think the music faces is that us as a nation don't spend money on the music. We don't buy music, you know, and that is a problem too, and we don't support. So that we can't blame just the distributing company alone, you know. We have to ask our audience, fans, and the people that follow us also to go out and buy the music also, because the support of buying the music is very lucrative also.
Is it true? I saw one interview, you said you had to buy the CDs to take on tour.
Yes.
But how did it get to that position? That's why I was asking you, like, why did you let the CD go?
Because one of the things is that some transaction went down between one of the executive, because I was one of the executive producer. Donovan German was one of the executive producer. Really and truly, you know, Universal Record was the place I wanted to take the album to. At first, I never liked how the album started, because tracks are being laid without my presence. Then, you know, how can you lay tracks without my presence? Because I don't really want to sing these songs exactly the way how Peter sing them. I want to put something more, you know, a Bushman signature also. These songs were played exactly because tracks were just listened to and being played without singers being singing to them, you know? So the attitude of the musician is not really there, because, you know, reggae music, you know, is about 10 or 9 or 7 souls coming together to create a sound. You know what I'm saying? So, me not being there, you can feel that the musicians are not being playing to a soul sound. So, one of the things is that when I brought it to Universal, they say it's sounding great, but it just doesn't sound like the musicians are playing to my vocals. Like I'm just singing and the musicians are playing. And it was right, it was correct, because at times I go there, I would hear other vocals on the tracks, not mine. And I would hear tracks being laid that I have to go back and change things in the tracks because the changing to the bars aren't right with the lyrical content. You know, so then I started questioning, what are we doing to reggae? Because these are some of the best producers in the music business doing stuff like creating music without the artists around. Like you're looking at the dollar sign before the production even finishes. And you have to do the production correctly in order for the dollar sign to come in. I never really liked how the album went down. So what had happened is that when I went to Universal, they never took the album. Then VP got the album. When I went to VP, I learned that transaction had done that I wasn't aware about.
Oh, I guess between them and Jermaine.
That is what had happened. Donovan, Jermaine, and Christian made transaction behind my back. And I remember Lloyd Stanbury saying to me, this project is going to go just like Nyaman Chant. You know? Nyaman Chant was my first album with Steely and Clevie, my first producers. And I remember that album, because I never started touring until I have my third album out, you know. You know? And I remember that album when it was being released in England. I'm in America. When Greensleeve wanted me in England and contacted the producers of the album, they told them they don't know my whereabouts when I was given an American visa and was sent to America trying to get a release with VP to work with them on an album release party and stuff like that, when I learned that the album is being released with Greensleeve, and they were looking for me 3 months ago. And learned that they don't know my whereabouts, and they as the producers are no more affiliated with me. So hearing that Bushman Sings the Bush Doctor is gonna go just like that project, I expected what Bushman Sings the Bush Doctor was shelved. I was like touring and buying the album for $6 a copy to sell back on tour.
So were you getting it from VP or did they get it from somewhere?
I buy it from VP Outlet in Miami. Because by this now, VP stopped selling CDs in New York, and they were only selling CDs in Miami.
Terrible,
So I had to buy the CDs in Miami. I remember the first time in Puerto Rico, I was going to Puerto Rico for the first time. They were doing this festival, and this band in Puerto Rico called Cultural Perfecto was representing Bob, and I was representing Peter. I had to buy these CDs to go to Puerto Rico to sell back to the people. So the CD was literally shelved, you know. If that CD had gotten promotion and proper exposure.
Was on there and Buju was on there.
And Buju was on there, Tony Rebel. Whole works. They wanted me to sign a letter of inducement. Now, one of the things is that, you know, I know that the line that my career have taken that I haven't chose is a line where I will get a lot of fight, because I won't lay myself down to be manipulated over and over again. I have experienced it over and over. That is why in Fireburn a week out I said, be careful what you sign, because some things get you victimized. We know that the music business is a dog-eat-dog world. But over the years, a lot of people have spread propaganda that I am this artist that is hard to deal with, and a lot of gander. you know, my attitude, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, but a lot of the time is like when people can't get to manipulate you or step on your integrity. That is when they start spreading this propaganda. Oh, Bushman, check me out.
Yeah.
Try to do business with me. You see the type of person I am. I'm a humanitarian. And that's what they don't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I am not one of the best reggae artists, you know. But I have a perspective. I have an objective. And when I got into the business, it was not just about fame and fortune. Because we've traveled the world and we've seen great people and meet great people, and it never gotten the best of us, you know what I'm saying? Because I know my purpose. And my purpose is to bring love and unity to a world of people. Matters not race, color, class, or creed.
Yeah.
And music is that great transportation which brings it to the people. So matters not who in the business try to do. It's not about them. It's about the people who are yearning for the truth.
Yeah.
The ardent fans who support the music. It's about them. And as long as I'm reaching them and I'm satisfying them, that is what motivates me to press on, even though the fight and the obstacles and the red flags that I face in the business. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much for watching I Never Knew TV.
Please subscribe, comment, like, share.